Hi, this is day 10. Um, I'm hanging out with my cousin and her friends, and so if you hear voices in the back, that's why. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about a quote I heard a little while ago, which really stuck with me. And the way it goes is, are you ready to win? Whatever your answer may be to that, there's a follow-up question. Are you ready to lose? I thought that was really funny when I first heard that quote because it's just something I hadn't thought about before. And it feels so obvious after hearing it once. But yeah, we're always concerned about winning. And we're concerned about losing too, but when people are set on a goal, I feel like usually they think a lot more deeply about winning than losing, which just makes sense for the most part. I know there's exceptions, but I think that just makes sense because, like, why focus on the worst case scenario? Not that losing is always the worst case scenario. But yeah, the reason that quote stuck with me was because when I first heard it, I was in a place where I was starting to win a lot. I'm not talking about competitions or anything like that. I'm just talking about I was completing the goals I was setting. And to a degree, I felt like I was winning. I was winning in my life. And I was really happy about that at the time. And then I just heard this quote, and the order it came to me, it was like, I heard it, I was like, are you ready to win? And then, of course, I thought, like, of course, I'm winning right now. And I was so focused on winning because for the most of my life, I never really relished in my victories. I always downplayed them. And so I never really felt like I was succeeding at anything. And so when I was starting to feel like I was winning and I was feeling proud of it and I was able to actually enjoy it, this quote just instantly reminded me that it's good to be prepared to fail. And by that I just mean it's good to, like, the way I saw it is like the same way you shouldn't attach yourself to your losses, you shouldn't attach yourself to your victories. At least to a degree. And I just think that feels healthy. But I could be wrong. This feels like the kind of thing I'll look back on in the future and be like, what were you talking about? But yeah. I feel like I'm ready to lose. I'm interested to see how I'll respond to that. I'm interested to see the growth that comes out of it. And I think everybody needs a loss every once in a while. It shouldn't be something that you should be so afraid of. And I really believe that when I say that, but like, I really believe that when I sit down and think about, like, a certain task I've set on if I think about losing or failing, I think like, I mean, yeah, that's okay. Like, of course, like everyone fails at some point. Like, of course you can fail, and of course it's okay to fail. But for a long time, I was in this position where I was just like immobile. I was still, because I was afraid to try new things. I was afraid to try to learn things that seemed difficult. And the only reason I could see why I'd be afraid of those things, or of trying those things, is that I would find out that while trying them, that I just wouldn't be capable of doing those things. So my assumption was that I was telling myself that I believed that I'm okay with failing, when in reality, I was terrified of it, or probably am still terrified of it. At least to a degree. I mean, like, even still, I don't feel like I'm actually that afraid of it failing. Maybe right now it's because I feel like I can't. But that's definitely not true. That's just the way I feel right now. But I think the reason I feel like that right now is that I feel like even a loss would feel like a win. Which again makes me feel like I'm ready to lose. I feel like if I make a big mistake or fail to do something, it won't ever feel like the end of the world. I'll see the failure and be like, good job, you tried. So yeah. Are you ready to win? Are you ready to lose? Thank you for watching.